On August 14, 2025, at 6 p.m. Kyiv time, the Ukrainian Navy reported the crash of a Russian Su-30SM fighter jet in the Black Sea, southeast of Zmiinyi Island. According to intercepted communications, contact with the aircraft was lost while it was carrying out a combat mission. Wreckage was found on the sea surface, but the cause of the crash has not been established. The occupiers are currently conducting a search and rescue operation. However, the Russian side has not officially confirmed the loss of the aircraft. Interestingly, 2 days earlier, the head of the main Directorate of Intelligence of Ukraine's Ministry of Defense, Kyrylo Budanov, visited Zmiinyi Island and the offshore gas platforms, Boyko Towers, held a meeting on the defense of the region, and commended fighters of the Special Forces Unit, Tymur. Kyrylo Budanov is known as one of Russia's highest-value hunting targets. Moscow does not merely threaten him. It formalizes his persecution through in absentia arrest warrants, operates via recruited officers, strikes at his inner circle, including the poisoning of his wife, and has made dozens of assassination attempts. Just last year, the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, foiled an FSB plan to kill Budanov through a mole in his security detail. The attempt was planned as a gift for Putin's inauguration. As Budanov himself has stated, there have been about 20 attempts on his life. These are not isolated incidents, but rather a long-term campaign to physically eliminate the man who orchestrates some of the most painful operations for Russia. The Su-30 belongs to the 4+ generation of fighter jets, featuring enhanced maneuverability and combat capabilities. The aircraft is powered by 2 powerful afterburning turbofan engines and boasts impressive flight performance. Its maximum speed at high altitude exceeds 2,100 km per hour, with a combat radius of about 1,500 km and a practical flight range of up to 3,000 km without refueling. The fighter is extremely agile, with a climb rate of approximately 230 meters per second. In the war against Ukraine, Russian Su-30s are actively engaged in various combat missions. Primarily, these fighters are used to suppress Ukrainian air defenses. They launch Kh-31P and Ka-58 anti-radiation missiles at Ukrainian radars, especially in the southern sector. In addition, Su-30s serve as escort fighters and can deliver strikes with unguided rockets or bombs. However, due to the high density of Ukrainian air defense systems, Russian pilots are forced to operate cautiously. Flying at high altitudes over Ukrainian-controlled territory quickly turns into a risk of receiving a personal missile from a Buk-type surface-to-air system. The approximate cost of a new Su-30 is about $50 million, a price comparable to Western fighters of the same class, underscoring the significance of each loss for Russia. On the eve of the full-scale invasion, as of early 2022, Russia's Su-30 fleet was estimated at about 130 units, around 100 Su-30SMs, and several dozen of the newer Su-30SM-2s. These multi-role fighters make up a substantial share of Russia's frontline aviation. Despite international sanctions, the Russian military-industrial complex continues attempts to produce Su-30s. It is known that as recently as 2023, the Russian aerospace forces received at least 4 new Su-30SMs. Still, production rates remain modest compared to the losses these aircraft have suffered in the war. During combat operations in Ukraine, Russian Su-30s have incurred significant losses. In the first months of the full-scale invasion, spring 2022, at least 11 Su-30SMs were shot down by Ukraine's air defense and aviation. Ukrainian forces have continued to steadily reduce their numbers since then. A notable episode occurred on August 9, 2022, when a powerful strike on the Saki Air Base, Novofedorivka, in Crimea, destroyed at least 4 Su-30SMs parked on the tarmac. Another Su-30SM at the same airfield was destroyed in an attack on July 26, 2024. Beyond combat losses, several Su-30S have been lost due to non-combat incidents. In October 2022, one Su-30SM crashed into a residential building in Irkutsk during a training flight. In August 2023, another crashed in Kaliningrad Oblast, reportedly due to a technical malfunction. According to confirmed open-source data, by the end of 2024, Russia had lost no fewer than 20 Su-30S, mostly the SM variant, during the war. This number continues to grow. For example, on May 2, 2025, Ukrainian intelligence conducted an unprecedented operation, for the first time in history shooting down 2 Su-30 aircraft using naval drones. Thus, roughly 1/5 of Russia's pre-war Su-30 fleet has been destroyed or disabled. The loss of each such aircraft not only reduces the strike capabilities of Russian aviation, but also carries symbolic weight. demonstrating the vulnerability of even Russia's newest aircraft to modern countermeasures.
Thank you, friends, for watching this video until the end. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest events. This material was prepared by Hustler. See you soon.